Hey guys, Marauder here, and I'm going to show you some of the additions to my collection that I've acquired recently for various systems ranging anywhere from the NES up into a brand new system that I just picked up that I'm very excited to talk about and to add to my overall collection. So I guess we'll start with the oldest thing I bought stuff for, which is the NES. There was is I should say, a Salvation Army store that's a ways away from my house, but stopped by there and happened to come across some very amazing finds, actually. One is I picked up a copy of Super Mario Brothers for the NES. It comes in a really nice Nintendo branded plastic clamshell, so, you know, has the manual in the back. Both are in very good shape. Obviously, this is like, what, the 6th or 7th copy of Mario that I have. It's getting ridiculous, but still, had to pick it up. It's only $2.99. Well, every one of these NES games I picked up for only $2.99. Another one, complete in box, I believe, is a copy of Championship Bowling. I don't really have much to say about this game. It's a bowling game. It is some fun. I really just picked it up because you don't find boxed NES games very much. And I was very, very excited to find this one, so you know, going to be added to my collection. The next one is a boxed copy and complete of Dr. Mario. This is a game that I did not originally own. I'm not much of a fan of this game. I'm just not much of a puzzle guy. But it's fun and coming complete in box. It's in mint shape too. I mean, the box doesn't have any crushed sections on it, no wear, a slight wear on the corner, but honestly, it's in fantastic shape. And again, I only paid $2.99 for that. The two that I was very, very, very surprised that I found. One game, Pac-Mania from Tengen. This is, I think, mostly complete. I think this one's missing. Yes, this one is missing the Tengen sleeve that these used to come in. But overall, fantastic game. Oh, and it has the UPC cut out of it for some reason. But again, $2.99, and to find a Tengen game in box, you just don't see these. So very, very excited. And possibly the best one that I found, complete in box with the sleeve and everything, was a Pac-Man Tengen NES game. And again, both of these Tengen games, it's like the guy, whoever owned them before me, never played them. They're absolutely, absolutely perfect. So, no, there's no wear on the labels or anything. Incredible. Incredible find. So, for the Genesis, as you all know, being a member of oceanofbees.com and producing Genesis game reviews for them, which is something I love doing. Had to go out and pick up some new Genesis games, just to kind of give me something to play. And I found 3 games at a local play and trade. One is Columns 3. I did not even know there was a Columns 3. I knew there was a Columns 1 and 2. I've never even heard of Columns 3. One thing that blows my mind, see if I can get close enough on that. That guy, I don't know what is up with that guy. He just looks off to me on the cover of this. It's ridiculous. But, you know, I think I picked this up for $2.99. Cart only, obviously, but still, happy to have it. I do really like Columns. It plays very differently from Tetris or any other puzzle game. So, very excited to have that. Another game I picked up for the Genesis is Whip Rush. It's a game similar to, I want to say it's similar to an R-Type or any kind of horizontal scrolling shooter. Loads of fun. You know, it's pretty simplistic, but a lot of fun. Look for a review possibly on that soon. And the game that I'm going to be doing a review on, so I won't talk too much about it, this is the one that I'm going to have come out next, is the game Trampoline Terror. I had never even heard of this game at all, and what drew my attention to it was just how absolutely plain the label was. There's no color on this, no graphics, well, very few graphics. And just, it's a very simplistic cart design. for the label, so had to pick it up. This is an addicting game. I'll get into it more in the review, but I found this to be extraordinarily addicting, so look forward to that. Very excited to show that one off in the review. For my Nintendo DS, I picked up one new game. I picked up Retro Game Challenge. This was a game recommended to me by Phoenix923, who says it's fantastic, and he's not kidding. This is a lot of fun. It's basically where you play a kid who's trapped in like the 1980s, and you have to play all these old games in order to win your freedom back to your time. And just loads of fun. All these games in here are just fantastic. Seriously, if you guys don't have this game and you're a fan of like older 8-bit, 16-bit games, this is just a blast. A lot of these games, I mean, they're all made-up games that are similar to, you know, major titles. There's one in here that's very similar to Gradius or Galaga, and there's another one that's very similar to Ninja Gaiden, if I remember correctly. And they're all great, and I could definitely see these all being games that actually came out at the given time, so fantastic. For my PSP, we'll move on to that next, I picked up two games. One is Killzone Liberation. I found this at a local Target for $9.99. I do not own this yet. I really like Killzone. The first one on PS2 was fantastic in my opinion. Had a couple graphical problems and you know, slow down and whatever, but overall a very satisfying game. So picked this up for $10. Looking forward to getting into this. There's actually another PSP game in the stack I've been stuck on for a while, so looking forward to getting into this one. Happy to have that one, because I have been looking forward to that one for a while. The other one I have is a game called Kenka Bancho, looks like. Badass Rumble, I don't really know how to say that. But this game is very similar to a... I want to call it more similar to River City Ransom, but it's more closer resembled Spike Out, if you guys remember that game on Xbox. Or, I guess, Final Fight on PS2, but that's a really bad example. But anyway, it's basically a 3D brawler. Loads of fun, has a great sense of humor, nice upgrade system, good graphics, everything else. It's an Atlas game, and I picked this up for... I think this was free, actually, because GameStop was doing a buy two get one free on all their used stuff when I found this, so did not pay anything for this one, if I do believe so, but I think originally, otherwise, it's like 10-15 bucks used. Pick it up if you're interested in brawlers, because I have been looking for a 3D brawler for a long time, and because I am a huge fan of those style of games, and this is fitting the bill rather nicely. Okay, for my PS2, I'll move on to next. I picked up one game, Mobile Light Force 2. This is actually, I think, Castle of Shikigami 2 is, I believe, what it's technically called. And the cover bears no resemblance to what the game actually is about. I only know of this because I've seen some reviews online, and I have Castle of Shikigami 3 on the Wii, and I absolutely love that game. So pick this one up. It's very similar, and, you know, loads of fun. You play as a bunch of anime characters flying around on broomsticks and what have you, shooting stuff. It's a bullet hell shooter. Quite challenging, but still loads of fun. Highly recommend this to anybody. I picked this up for, if I remember right, probably like $1.99, $2. It's ridiculous how cheap this was. But if you like those bullet hell style shooters, you really should do yourself a favor and look into this one. Okay, for my Xbox 360, I picked up one new game, which was Binary Domain. It's a third-person shooter. It's done by the same guy who created the Yakuza series, and Yakuza is one of my all-time favorite game series ever. So, I was very much looking forward to this, and I picked it up. This is a fantastic third-person shooter. It has its problems, sure, but unlike Gears of War, I think the characters in this one are more expressive. They have a better personality. There's actual color in this game. I love shooting robots. The way they blow up and fall apart when you shoot them is just so entertaining and so satisfying. Again, just loads of fun, this game. It's also out on Steam on PC, or it will be soon. I already bought that on PC as well. So, yeah, can't recommend this enough. Fantastic game. Has a bunch of co-op options on it online. So if you're looking for something to kind of tide you over after Gears of War, if you're a fan of that style of game, the cover-based third-person shooter, give this one a shot. It's really, really, really good. Okay, I got a couple other games to talk about. For my 3DS, I actually picked up 3 games. The first one I picked up is Centipede Infestation. I really have nothing to say about this game. I picked it up at a local Target, I think the same time I picked up Killzone, basically because it was super cheap. It was like $9.50. And it brought me back to remembering, I used to play Centipede on the PlayStation 1 at my sister's house, and it had this like 3D overview of things, and it actually turned into more like a run-and-gun shooter. And this one looks kind of similar, so I'm hoping it's, you know, just as good, if not decent. But very excited to try this one out. But due to some other games I have in the stack here, I've not been able to get around to this one yet. And you'll see why when I show them to you. Another 3DS game is, I got Sonic Generations for 3DS. This is a huge, huge disappointment to me. I love the console version of this. Absolutely love it. But the 3DS version it doesn't even come near what the console version is like. Each character, obviously it's the same, you play as Modern Sonic or Classic Sonic, but their levels are way too similar to where it feels like you're not really playing a different character. Classic Sonic has a homing attack, which I don't understand why, because he shouldn't have that, and he does, which is weird. You know, and I beat it in literally, I think, 45 minutes. I blew through this game and it was over, and I have no interest in going back to it. I may eventually. I'll keep it around just because I'm a Sonic fan, but it was massively, excuse me, disappointing. So, let's just hope the next one's better, because the Sonic Generations on consoles and on PC is one of the best games I've played in a really long time. Not just a good Sonic game, but just a fantastic game in general. And for this to be the companion to that is just it's a shame. It really is a shame. You know, and they had different levels in this one than they did in the console version. That was another reason I wanted to pick it up, because they did like Seaside Hill, and they did just other levels that you wouldn't think to do. And it's just a shame it wasn't very good. It was short and glitchy and just not a lot of fun. One game I picked up, I have not gotten around to this one either, is Tales of the Abyss for 3DS. This was a game that my friend Phoenix923 would not stop going on about. And I was at a local GameStop trying to do their buy two get one, and by the time I would have bought the 3 games I would have wanted, which I didn't really want, I was buying more because there was the deal, I could just get this game, and it was a game that I really, really wanted, so picked it up. Like I said, have not gotten into this one yet, but looking forward to it. So, there's that. Okay, now the next set of games, I have something to show you before I show you the games. Recently, I picked up a brand new console. It's a console I've been wanting for a little while, and have not gotten around to picking up until now, which is the PlayStation 3. This is the slim model. I don't know the designation. Let me see. It is the 3001A. So, if that matters to anybody. Doesn't to me, but in case you're interested. I did not have a PlayStation 3 for a lot of reasons. One, I didn't really like how they kept cutting out features and ditching things. Like, you can't play PS2 games on it. You can't... there's no more media card reader or extra USB ports or whatever. And they just kept cutting it out and cutting it out and cutting it out. Well, they also... the thing that drove me to this console is their exclusives. Mostly Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 4 Dead Souls. Which, since I'm a huge Yakuza fan, I had to play, and you can only play them on this system. On top of that, there's the Uncharted series, there's Metal Gear Solid 4, there's Valkyrie Chronicles and Killzone and Resistance and Ni no Kuni's coming out for it soon. So just the sheer amount of exclusives they have for this, and that's all I'm buying, by the way, for this console is the exclusives. Because if I bought a multi-platform game, I generally like it better on Xbox because I like the controller better. Speaking of controllers, this is the PS3 controller. Very similar to a PS1 or PS2 controller with analog sticks. The biggest thing is that they added the L and R buttons as triggers, so they have a little bit of spring to them. The only problem is, and I don't know why this is, but whenever I press them, my finger tends to slip completely off them. I'm not really sure why that is, but they really should have put some kind of lip on this so your finger doesn't immediately fall off it. You know, overall, it feels just like a PlayStation 2 controller, so it's not terrible. I've never really liked the PlayStation controllers, but, you know, again, I'm really buying this system for the exclusives to play all of the first-party titles, all of the Yakuza games, and so on and so forth. So, with that being said, I picked up 3 games for it. Again, this is mostly because they had the buy 2 get 1 free. Although I don't think the first game was part of that. The very first game I picked up for it is a Sega game called Valkyrie Chronicles. Now, for those of you who have been following my collection series, you will know that I have this on PSP. And this game is very similar to the one on PSP. So, honestly, I've played it for a couple hours. It's nothing really groundbreaking or anything like that. It just, you know, it's more of the same. But it's a great strategy game, a lot of fun, really good art style, really good graphics, looks beautiful, and just, you know, I'm having fun with it. So if you guys are into strategy games, you know, check it out. Again, there's also the sequel on PSP if you don't have a PS3. And I highly recommend both this one and the PSP version. And the other games that I picked up Killzone 2. Again, I like I said before, I love Killzone as a series. I think it's fantastic. And so Killzone 2, was really looking forward to this, picked it up. And yeah, I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to get through it for the story and trying to figure things out. It's a lot more methodical than Halo or Gears of War, where you basically really have to take your time in Killzone and get places and more strategically figure things out. But it is a blast. It looks great. Loads of fun. So, yeah. Lot of fun with that one. And the last game I have to show you is, of course, Killzone 3. Now, of course, I have not played this yet because I have not beaten Killzone 2, which I'm working on currently. But as soon as I'm done with 2, I will jump to 3 and go through that. One thing that I'm kind of disappointed in is I'm pretty sure this does not have online co-op. My friend LOZF also has this game, and it would be a blast to go through the game with him if it supports it, but I'm pretty sure it does not. So, what are you going to do? But still, loads of fun, hopefully, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this game, but I gotta beat Killzone 2 first. So, I think that's my largest collection update to so far. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think like 20 games in a system this time. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. Most of which I bought on sale or used, honestly. So, you know, that's everything. Hope you guys saw some games that you were interested in or some games you wanted to check out. I highly recommend pretty much everything in the stack, with the exception of the ones that I said I didn't play yet, like Centipede or Tales of the Abyss. Although I have it on good authority from my friend Phoenix923 that Tales of the Abyss is amazing. He said he's also played the PS2 version, and the 3DS version is just as good, if not better. So if you guys like RPGs, you might want to check that one out too, but I can't say that for myself personally. Anyway, that's everything. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.